My name's Elleigh Burnside, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about myself. If you look at the pictures on the screen, you get just kind of an idea about me and what else I'm going to talk about. So let's get started. I was born into a family of educators. I had my grandpa, who was a teacher, principal, and then superintendent. I had two uncles who were teachers, principals, and then one went on to be a superintendent. And then I had my mom, who was a teacher and also worked in administration. Now, even though I was born into a family that did a lot of work with education, I was very resistant. In my time in high school, I saw one of the best teachers be let go due to budgeting issues. And that was very frustrating because he was a great teacher, and multiple students would say he was a great teacher. And there were other teachers who had gotten lazy with their comfort and tenure, and they were kept. And I was very confused with how can such an important system like education do something like that? And so I didn't want to be part of it. And it was towards the end of my high school career that I was talking with my basketball coach. And it was after I had helped a girl at one of our summer camps learn how to do a free throw. And I had worked with her and given her step-by-step skills and strategies. And then I had gone back to talk with my coach, and he had said, "Hey, you look like you'd be a great teacher." And I said, "No, I don't want anything to do with that." He's like, "Why not? You'd be great at it." And I said, "Well, it's a broken system. I don't want to join something that's broken." And he had said, "You're a great teacher. If great teachers don't join a broken system, it will never get better." And it was through those words, and also just my passion. I love working with kids, their excitement. It's something that I just like to be around. So I ended up going into education, obviously. And through my time in trying to become an educator and eventually becoming an educator, I always reflect back on when I was younger, I felt ashamed because I didn't understand a lot of things. So through elementary school, it was a struggle. Eventually, through extra practice, things clicked. I learned how I best learn and then continue to use those strategies to succeed in school. By applying those strategies, I graduated high school. I then graduated from a community college into a university at Grand Valley. And in the pictures, you can see a University of the Grand Valley campus that I attended, and also some graduation pictures with my wonderful family. After Grand Valley, I got my first teaching job at a summer migrant program up in Kent City, where I taught 4th grade. Before we started the program, we got to see the living conditions, and it really puts into perspective how resilient and hardworking those kids are as they are pulled out of school throughout the year to stay with their families and to go from different place to place. The program was great as it tried to fill the gaps where students didn't quite understand concepts because they had missed out on so much school to stay with their families as they migrated from different place to place. What was also great about the program was they had field trips, and the kids would get to see things that they never got to see. I live in Michigan, and so we are surrounded by lakes, and I just kind of assumed that, if you live in Michigan, if you stay in Michigan, you've seen the Great Lakes. And we took the kids to Lake Michigan, and for some of them, it was their first time ever going. And to be able to provide those experiences and be part of that was something I will continue to treasure forever, as those students that I got to be with were genuine, and they appreciated and just had so much joy with the program. That program helped me to get a job at Hope Academy of West Michigan, where I taught 5th and then 4th grade. Students at Hope were from the community, but also they were students who were no longer allowed to attend public school because of behavior issues. They had a high population of Black and Hispanic communities, and during that time, I learned the most. Behaviors there were extreme, and so I learned about how you need to be involved in a behavior program, and I also was involved in their curriculum development program there as well, which helped guide me into becoming the teacher I am today. After my 2 years at Hope Academy, I went to Grandville Public Schools, and I'm still at Grandville Public Schools, where I teach 4th grade. while at Grandville, so here you can see I'm actually in my classroom. I'll give you a quick little spin around. As you can see by all the colors and chaos, I believe in a very visual classroom. I love to put up anchor charts that we work on together to show them what we're learning, and then also they can use that to help them in all of their assessments and assignments. Some fun things that I do as a fourth grade teacher here as a reading goal. So every year we set 2 reading goals. We set one for the first half of the year and the second half. And the reason I do that is I'm trying to develop a passion for students to find for reading. It can be really tough. And so my goal is to hopefully, through them finding success in their reading goals, for them to continue to enjoy reading as they get older and to see that they can find books. And the way that we do that is other students will talk to them about the books that they are reading, and we try and give them suggestions. And then if they meet their reading goal, they get to attend an amazing party that has a theme to it, and we celebrate their success with prizes and games and lots of things like that. I've also continued to include a culture project at the end of the year where students study different countries and cultures from around the world. And I do that because I'm hoping that these students will learn to respect people that are different than them, and that respect will be developed through learning more about people in the world. Every year while I've been here, I've tried to improve at least one subject. And I found that that helps me to not overwhelm myself, and I can continue to improve on things. But it makes it so that I can refine one thing and that can become really good, and then I continue with that. One thing I always tell my students is it's okay to not know, but it's not okay to not try. That's my one thing with students is, we're here to learn, and if you knew everything, you wouldn't be here. So just keep trying. And I understand, like I talked about earlier in this video, I didn't understand a lot when I was younger, and I kept trying. And I know that students can achieve success through those efforts. So we talk about grit. Here's a little bit more about my classroom and things that I've done here in Grandville. You can see at the top, those are different writing responses. I call them my rap wall. And it's called a rap wall because it uses the strategy: restate the question, answer the question, prove the question with your thinking, and then prove the question with evidence. And the only way to get in it is if it's 100% perfect. And I mean perfect. Like if there's a comma that is a space where it's not supposed to, they don't make it. And it is truly amazing to see the growth of students' writing and their determination and efforts they put towards it. And then a fun part to it is, as you can see, there's candy wrappers there. If you make it in the Wrap Club, you get a candy wrapper, or you get the candy in the wrapper, and then we post it up. Here we use Reader's Workshop, which I've continued to improve on. We use Savvis Realize for math. I'm teaching both social studies and science along with writing. And as I mentioned earlier, we have the reading goal. So I like to include quotes in my room to just inspire and remind kids that reading is important. So that's why we work on it. We also use the program of PBIS. I was fortunate enough to learn about PBIS at Hope Academy and then continue with that here at Grandville, where we really promote positive behavior to encourage our student success. A little bit more about me. So this is my husband and my best friend. We dated all throughout college and then eventually got married, and I'm so glad we did. And this last year, we had our daughter, Isabella. She is my little lady of love. She is adventurous. She loves to read books, and I just truly enjoy all of my time with her. This is my dog, Blue. So we got him when he was a puppy. If you noticed earlier, he used to be able to go to school with me here at Grandville, and the kids loved that. He would sit and read with them. And due to policy changes, that's no longer allowed to happen. But you can see some pictures of him as a puppy and him now. A little bit more about myself is I really like to read. So part of that reading goal that I set for students, I also hold myself accountable to that. So I have to read the same number of books as they do. And So some books that I've read recently are The Wife Between Us, and I really enjoyed the authors that wrote that. And so I've read through all of their books. Another book that I highly recommend is Ground Zero. It is, I would say, one of the top 5 books I've read in the past couple of years. So I highly recommended it to students. And what was great is I got some students to read it, and I even had a student who loved it so much he read all the books by that author. Other things I enjoy are working out or fitness, but just to stay healthy enough to be active with my daughter. And there you can see I love breakfast food, and I like to look at Pinterest and Instagram to get some ideas for what to cook. And most of all, I truly just love spending time with my daughter and my husband. They are a lot of fun to be with. Here you can see my husband likes to vacuum, and so he bought my daughter a little vacuum, and she surprisingly loves to vacuum. She's figured out how to work the buttons already. And here we are on a little vacation. They are my favorite part of life. So thank you for watching this video and learning a little bit about me. Have a great day.